Welcome. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Orlando. My name is Dave Shine. I'm a member of the worship team here at 1U. With me today in today's service is our spiritual leader, Reverend Margalie Belizaire, our director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, Judith Stein-Farrall, our music director, Aubrey Connelly-Candelario, and Jacob Hike on drums. We also have our chalice lighter, Skyla, and board president-elect Beth Tura. And let's not forget our teams of wonderful people in the background working diligently to ensure that we come together this morning. So thank you. Children will be sung out today after the Time for All Ages portion of the service. We greet you this morning, old friends and new ones, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you love, whoever you are welcome here. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. We have a few special announcements today. From Religious Enrichment, those attending Adult OWL today, in case you did not see the email out on Friday, a reminder that we are meeting at the Unitarian University Fellowship, also known as Triple U, campus today at 4 p.m., not here. Next Sunday, join the Green Team next Sunday for Cultivating a Climate of Hope, our Earth Day service, as we tend to the spiritual garden of our community through a celebration of our commitment to Mother Earth, with enormous gratitude, grave concern, and heartfelt reflection. And then stay for our community garden and EV showcase immediately following the service. And now for a special announcement from Reverend Margalie.
So I've been back now from sabbatical just 3 weeks, although it feels longer, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It feels like, what I mean is that it felt very smooth coming back on. And of course, the first one was Easter, And so I was gonna say this last week, but many members of the worship team, and I mean not just worship associate, tech, and music, were out last week. But I really just want to say, just thank you so much for everything, for the way things went during my sabbatical, the wonderful work of the tech team, the music team, the worship team. And I also want to say a special thank you to Melissa, who, as far as the worship team goes, wrangling everyone together and making sure that everything goes very smoothly on Sundays. And I've only heard wonderful things. So just really, I meant to say this thank you earlier, but time just, it feels like we're just in the groove of it. So just wanted to say thank you for everything, and a special thanks to Melissa for making that happen.
Yeah, I'd like to second that. I thought everything went great while Reverend Margalie was out, but we're very glad she was back. The order of service can be accessed via the QR code on the screen right now. The link to the event calendar is at the bottom of the order of service. Please click on it to view what's going on at 1U. For more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. Let us welcome our chalice lighter today, Skyla. Skyla is 7 years old and loves her family. Okay. Join me in saying our beloved chalice lighting words as Skyla lights the chalice. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Hey, great job. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 1014, Answering the Call of Love. The words will be projected on the screen.
Faith, hope, and love abide, and so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is a guide. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. Sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound, corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. A bright new day is dawning, when love will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. We are answering the call of love.
I also want to thank the members of the different choirs that are up there, even though today is not a choir Sunday. Thank you for being part of the service today. And good morning. So good to be with you. I look forward for a continued exploration of our April theme, Embracing Possibility. And today we will look at the idea of flourishing right where we are planted. Of course, for us at Central Florida. Woohoo! All right. And let us begin with the words of Starhawk. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered, half envisioned, that we only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a place where hands will open to receive us, eyes will light up as we enter, voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends, someplace where we can be free. And with those words on our hearts, Let us worship together. And let us greet one another. If you're joining us online for the first time, please say so in the comments. And if you're joining us in person for the first or even third time, if you would honor us by standing or raise your hand so we can be sure to welcome you. Woo-hoo! Wait, why is Martha standing? Welcome, welcome. And so, let's greet one another. And hey, we have a couple right over there. That's new. Please be sure to say hello. What? Oh, well, we'll have to look into that. I'll talk to you about it later, okay? Good morning. We have my deep and not quite full voice this morning. I apologize, but thank goodness for microphones. Can everybody hear me all right? All right, my name is Judith Stein-Farrall. For the people that are new to the facility, I am the Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, and this is the time for all ages. Children of all ages and abilities and interests who would like to join me up here on the carpet are please welcome, and all ages and stages and the young at heart. Ooh, I'm loving this outfit. This is like, oh my gosh. If anyone doesn't already know this about me, I grew up in Greenwich Village in the 60s and 70s, so that outfit is like my childhood, right there. All right, this morning, we're gonna tell a story that we've sort of explored once before in a different way, but we're gonna explore it through the actual book today. And it's reinforcing the message Reverend Margalie has today about the fact that last week we talked about how we're coming around to all the pieces falling into place and how there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do, but there's also stuff we can do right here in our own backyards, right here in our own space. So this morning I am going to read a story called We Are the Builders, written by Deepa Iyer and Romina Galota. And here we go. So I'm going to call you, because I don't have the physical, I'm going to call your attention to the screen for the pictures, okay? Welcome to our community day. Ready to find your role to play? My name is Ramla. I'm your guide. Follow me and stay by my side. So many grown-ups and kids are here. Everyone wants to volunteer. There's plenty to do in our hometown, in our own town. Help now, friends. Plant trees in the ground. The time is now. Let's all play a part. Listen and learn. What moves your heart, right? That's probably going to come up. We are the builders. We farm and forge, construct and fix, improve homes and with nails and bricks. See those old desks, tables, and chairs? Good as new, with some repairs. Who wants to join the builders? You're going to join the builders? All right. All right. All right, now sit down. Let's see what else you can participate in. Thank you. Fantastic. We are the caregivers. We have some of those here. We comfort, console, soothe, and cheer. Care kits for all near and dear. Acts of service and words that mend. How can I help my new friend? Who wants to join the caregivers? Ooh! Yeah. Guess what?
She changed her mind. I bet she can do more than one thing. All right, let's listen to the next one. We are the frontline responders. We plan and protect. Stay prepared. Storms brewing, but don't be scared. Stock cans of soup, bags of fresh fruits. Gather warm coats, gloves and boots. Who wants to join the frontline responders? Yep. We do a lot of that in hurricane season, right? All right, next one. Ready? And I bet some of you have done this. We are the disruptors. We declare, demand, dismantle, call for change. Don't hesitate. Raise your voices and banners and beats. Meet the march out in the streets. Say that again. You were at the No Kings rally? Yep. Who wants to join the disruptors? Woo! All right. We are the experimenters. We have a few of those here too. We scan, invent, and improvise, solve hard problems with fresh eyes. What if these used bottles and rags could become backpacks and bags? Who wants to join the experimenters? There we go. Next, we are the visionaries. We dream, imagine, and inspire a world we can all admire. Fresh air, clean water, safe and free, bright future. That's what we see. We want to join. Who wants to join the visionaries? The green team. Raise your hand, green team. Woo! Next, we are the weavers. We stitch, we braid, we intertwine. Common threads link hearts and minds. When people fight or disagree, find what connects you and me. Who wants to join the weavers? Find the connections. I see a couple people. That's a real skill. And those of you who can do it should do it. Just saying. Come talk to me. We are the healers. We renew and restore and relieve. Tend to those who cry and grieve. Sometimes when the world is too much, we nurture the breath with breath and touch. Who wants to join the healers? Who already is the healers? There we go. Thank you. We are the storytellers. We sing and dance, create art, bring joy and love heart to heart. Vibrant murals preserve our past histories cherished at last. Who wants to join the storytellers? And I happen to know there's some history going up in some of the classrooms in Gore Hall soon, so you'll see some of that experience. Woo! All right. One last page. I think, yes, two last pages. Of the different roles to play, which one feels like you today? You could become a guide like me, show new folks what they can be. We mentor, we advise, we steer, share wisdom, honest and clear. You! Welcome, team, absolutely. Now that it's clear what we can each do, we want to hear from all of you. What role would you choose? Who would you be? How will you change your community? Go ahead. Caregiver. Everything. Caregiver. So what? What's the central theme here? Yes, go ahead. Everything. And where can you do this? Do you have to go to Timbuktu? No. Do you have to go to New York? No. Do you have to go to California? No. Where can you do this? Anywhere. And right here. There you go. All right, if our families in this aisle would please form a loving arch so our children can go to the classrooms for their RE lessons. Thank you.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I invite you to take a deep breath. And remember that what we do here is holy work, all of it. There's a question moving among us, quiet for some, louder for others. How do we meet this moment? A moment that feels so wide, so heavy, so full of needs. A moment that asks so much of us that we can begin to wonder if anything we do is enough. We see the world's pain, we feel the urgency, and somewhere inside, a voice whispers, "You should do more." But what if that voice is not the only voice worth listening to? What if there's another invitation, gentler but no less powerful? An invitation not to be everywhere at once, but to be fully present right where you are. What if meeting this moment does not begin out there in the distance, in the headlines, and the places we cannot reach, but right here, in the lives we touch, and the communities we shape, and the ordinary sacred ground beneath our feet? This morning, we'll explore that possibility together. We'll consider what it means to embrace possibility, not something far away, but something growing here among us, within us. So, let's again take a deep breath and arrive fully. And let yourself wonder this question: what if where you are is not a limitation, but the very place where your life can make a difference?
Good morning. My name is Beth Tura, and I am the president-elect of the Board of Trustees. Each week, we make space to collect an offering. This is the time when we pass the basket to collect a financial donation from you. We do this not simply to invite you practice generosity and be in the habit of giving, but also to intentionally and plainly remind you that your giving is necessary for you to exist and thrive, and for us to continue sharing the good news of Unitarian Universalism with the world. In the words of Aaron Payson, may we give as we are able, with gratitude for what sustains us, and with faith in what we can build together. Let this offering be a blessing, a holy presence made visible among us. Today's full collection will go to the ministries of this congregation. Our Share the Plate recipient for the months of March and April is One Heart for Women and Children. Should you choose to make a direct donation to our partner, please let us know for recording purposes. Note that you can also give online or use your phone to scan the QR code found in the pew back pocket to donate through Zephy. Please note you can change the service fee at the checkout to $0. The offering will now be collected.
and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our nights of struggle, we can see a ray of hope, one pale thin ray, reaching for the day we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels. We call it a city of love. We may not reach the ending, but we can start, slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but we can build a city of love. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels. We call it a city of love.
Thank you, Aubrey. Let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
We make space each week to share our joys and sorrows, the place of lightness and heaviness in our lives. We do this not only to express what is on our own hearts, but to remind one another that no one journeys alone. So if you have a sorrow you need witness or help with, or have a joy you wish to share, please contribute to a collective sharing of joys and sorrows. And during this time in the service, we share that with the entire congregation. And you can do so during the week by sending us an email at joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org. And if you attend in person, you can fill out a card with our wonderful welcomers and greeters, and then make sure to bring it here so that what you want to share gets shared. And we also afford you the opportunity to also participate in a candle lighting, either by coming up or by being part of a responsive reading, which today will be our chalice lighting. So know that you can always bring your joys and your sorrows as we come together. Come just as you are, because your whole self is welcome in this sacred space we are creating together. Today, I am going to ask you to do something a little different before we get into the rest of what you are used to. Last week, if you were here, I invited you to, during the week, to, if you have already a spiritual practice, to nurture that. But if you don't, to start thinking about that, because the times that we are living and are very heavy, and that impacts us as well, even as we do the work. So I'm going to invite you to share with one another. If you have a spiritual practice, you can share about that. And if not, if the question basically is, what is a spiritual practice? And you just kind of want to know, you can talk with one another about that as well. If you are online and you are alone, if you could reflect on that. If you didn't get a chance to do any of that during the week, that is to say, explore what is it that you have when you're not here that grounds you. What is it? Is it prayer? Is it nature? Is it community? So whatever it is, if you could take a little time, I'm going to give you about 3 to 5 minutes to talk with one another about where are you when it comes to spiritual practice. Okay. Another 30 seconds. Another 30 seconds. I hope this is a conversation that will be ongoing for you and for us as you use, as 1U members, to really pay attention to our spiritual life, whatever that means for us. And a simple little word that I want, if you could think of your spiritual grounding, if it is difficult for you, that is, if you could just think of it as something bigger than yourself. I remember somebody saying once, and then she said it in different settings, so I'm hoping sharing it here, and here too, different settings here. Spiritual practice sometimes for her, one of her spiritual practice used to be while she's cleaning vegetables and cooking for her family, just taking that time and seeing how that is going to nourish her and her family and so on. So just kind of, if we could think of it as something that we are not alone in this world, things that ground us as human beings. So just want us to kind of invite that more and more into our lives. So today's flowers, beautiful flowers here, are provided by Catherine Vaquero with gratitude for our beloved community and the wonderful support she has received while healing from hip replacement surgery, with a special call out to her Tai Chi students for carrying on valiantly, valiantly, Tai Chi and violence. We have Javier's mom. Oh, he's out of the hospital, so that's good. She will still need full-time home care. Sending continued healing energy is always appreciated, and a thank you with that. We have a note from Christine and Elias that Elias turned 8 on the 10th. Oh, that already passed, so happy belated birthday. And also, they add, we signed the lease for a new apartment, and we are moving to Ocala over the summer. Oh. Well, half good, right? Ooh. Okay. Oh. We have a joy here. We have a newly refurbished library. If you haven't seen it yet, take a peek. A big thank you to Wesley and Brandon for finding the inspired pieces for, and for their friend who donated the reupholstery. Also, to the Alliance for their generous donation of $500 to help with the new bookshelves. What a beautiful transformation. And if you haven't seen our new library area, take a peek. It really is beautiful. We also, as it is in communities, we have good news and we also have sad news. And Emmy Collins is in the hospital after experiencing chest pain. We wish her healing. It's the note. I'm not hearing that she's not wanting calls or anything, so reach out. And this community, we always show up for one another, so do what you do very well. And we also have news from Jean Kowalty. I know the folks in the Alliance group knows her, and many of you, that her partner of 61 years, Lena, passed away last weekend after a long illness. So when I spoke with her, one of the things she wanted to make sure that I say to you is that this community has really been a great source of support and love for her, and she really appreciates how you always show up for her. So Lena lives in the Sanford area, so she's not here regularly, but reach out. She didn't need anything at this point from the caring team as far as sustenance or anything like that. We hold the fears and sorrows of all affected by the brutality from war, threats, natural disasters, and other situations that are beyond their control. And we hold our communities, both near and far, and our country with care, and the world with our compassion by acting for justice in all the small and large ways that will move the arc of the universe toward justice. And for all the joys and sorrows of this community, those shared today and those we continue to hold close to our hearts, let us pray, let us celebrate, and let us send one another healing energy. And today, we are doing our 3-candle lighting ritual. We will light one for joy, one for sorrow, and one for the mystery and unknown that lies before us. The first candle is for all the joys in our hearts, for the beauty and wonder of this world that holds us. This second candle is for the sad and difficult happenings in our lives, for grief over the losses we have borne. Let this flame remind us that we need not carry them alone. The third candle is for all that remains unknown, a flame of mystery and possibility. Together, these three flames, joy, sorrow, and mystery, burn as one. Let them remind us that whatever we bring into this circle of care, we are held in a greater light, and we do not journey alone. And with the words of Reverend Lynn Cox, hear our prayer. Spirit of life, ever adapting and renewing, we come together this morning with yearning that do not match. We yearn for stability, for even one moment of feeling we know what is going on, for the ability to predict and prepare for what is coming next. Yet, we also yearn for change. We ache for a world that turns aside from racism, violence, dehumanization, and disregard for suffering. Source of wonder, move us to express and live in gratitude for the beauty of this world and the loving people in our lives and this day of possibility.
Joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, God of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, hail thee as the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the pain of doubt away, giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the joy of day.
Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another, to assist some portion of this poor person's world, will help immensely. It is not given to us to know which acts or by whom will cause the critical mass to tip toward an enduring good. What is needed for dramatic change is an accumulation of acts, adding to, adding more, continuing. We know that it does not take everyone on earth to bring justice and peace, but only a small, determined group who will not give up during the first, second, or 100th gale. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, builds signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire. To display the lantern of soul is in shadowy times like these, to be fierce and to show mercy towards others. Both are acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls can catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the turmoil, that is one of the strongest things you can do. Clarissa Pincola Estes. It was January. I was on sabbatical, on the road, moving through a landscape that felt both expansive and grounding. And while I was away, a call went out. Clergy colleagues in Minneapolis were organizing, showing up in response to the brutality of ICE officers toward protesters, bearing witness in a moment that demanded courage and presence. And I remember reading that call, feeling it in my body, feeling a pull to go, and then realizing I couldn't. I didn't have the right clothing for Minneapolis weather with me. I wasn't in the right place. The logistics didn't line up. And beneath all of that was something deeper, a feeling that I was somehow failing, that I was not doing enough, not showing up in the way this moment required, not being the kind of leader I was supposed to be. And thankfully came an interruption. A dear colleague said something simple, and it shifted everything for me. She said, "We don't all have to do everything. We're not doing this work alone." And another one said, "Our job is to flourish where we are planted." Flourish where we are planted. Not where we wish we were, not where the headlines are, not where the urgency feels the loudest, but where we are. That's not always the message we hear because we are living in a moment that feels so big, overwhelmingly big. The problems are global, the crises are constant, the suffering is visible and in real time across screens, borders, and time zones. And it can make us feel like if we're not everywhere, we are nowhere. If we're not doing something large, we are doing nothing. But what if that's not true? What if the way we meet this moment is not by trying to be everywhere, doing everything, but being fully present somewhere? There's a line from the French writer and philosopher Voltaire that has endured over the centuries. It says, "One must cultivate one's own garden." It is a deceptively simple statement because it doesn't say fix the entire landscape or rebuild the whole system or save the world all at once. It says instead, tend what is yours to tend. Care for what is within your reach. And that can sound small, but I want to challenge that because what if tending your garden is not a retreat from the world, but a commitment to it? We heard from Starhawk in our call to worship this longing for community, a place where we can speak with passion without our words catching in our throats, a circle of hands that open to receive us, a place where we can be free. That is not abstract or theoretical, that is local. That is built in real relationships, in real communities, in real moments of care and connection. And this is why that shift happened for me, because what my friends did was to remind me of this. The work is shared. When one of us cannot show up in one place, someone else does. And when we are faithful where we are, when we show up in our own communities, in our own relationships, we are not failing the larger work. We are participating in it. In a piece of writing, Reverend Cameron Trimble looked back at the collapse of the Roman Empire. She wrote of Benedict of Nursia, who in the midst of the unraveling did something unexpected. He did not try to save the empire, but he did not abandon the world. He stayed. He gathered people. He created communities rooted in shared values, shared labor, and cared for the vulnerable. And those communities, those small, local, intentional communities, did not stop the collapse, but they preserved something essential within it: humanity, dignity, care. Reverend Trimble concluded, how we live in the midst of breakdown shapes what becomes possible afterwards. So even if we could not control the larger forces at work, we still have agency. We still have choice. We still have responsibility. And then there is Margaret Whitley, who put it even more bluntly. She says, everything is local now, and continues that the question is no longer, how do I fix the world? The question is, how do I serve the people I'm with? Not how do I solve climate change, not how do I repair every broken system, but how do I show up here? How do I create islands of sanity, small, healthy, grounded communities where people can still be human with one another? That can feel like we're settling, like saying, this is all I can do. But Whitley would say, and I concur, that this is not giving up, it is focusing. The truth that we don't always want to face is that we cannot fix everything. Certainly not all at once, and surely not by ourselves. And when we try, we often burn out, and we shut down, or we convince ourselves that nothing we do matters anyway. But what if that is not the ask? What if the invitation is not to fix the world, as that's a tremendous task? What if the invitation is to be faithful within the world? This brings me back to last week, to the line where even when things fall apart, they may also be falling into place. If that is true, if we are living in a moment of breakdown that is also a moment of becoming, then the question becomes, what is our role in that becoming? And here is something I want to lift up from what Clarissa Estes said from our reading just a short while ago. Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Within our reach. That phrase matters as it can ground us. It reminds us that our impact is not measured by how far we stretch ourselves, but by how faithfully we tend what is near. Estes goes on to say, any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul will help immensely. She didn't say dramatically, and she didn't say not all at once, but cumulatively, adding more until something shifts. And that is where possibility lives, not in grand gestures alone, but in steady, consistent relational work. So let's bring it all together, because our theme for the month is embracing possibility. And if we're honest, possibility can feel distant, abstract, fragile. But if possibility isn't out there somewhere, if it's here, if it's in your home, your neighborhood, your community, what if possibility looks like checking in on a neighbor, standing up for someone in your community, creating spaces where people can be fully human, telling the truth when it would be easier to stay silent, choosing connection when isolation feels safer, then possibility is quite manageable when we view it from that lens. And these are not small things. This is how we change worlds. And yes, there are moments when we are called beyond our local communities, moments when solidarity requires us to show up elsewhere, to lend our voices or presence or resources. And when we can, we should. But we cannot live there all the time. We cannot live out there all the time. We cannot sustain that level of constant outward reach without being rooted somewhere, without being nourished somewhere, without belonging somewhere. And that is what local community offers us. Not an escape from the work, but a place to do it well. So maybe the invitation this morning is this: to release the pressure to do everything, to take up the responsibility to do something faithfully, consistently, right where you are. If each of us flourishes where we are planted, if each of us tends our garden, if each of us helps create these islands of sanity, then together, something large begins to take shape. And perhaps this is how we meet the moment, not by scattering ourselves thin across every need, but by rooting ourselves deeply in the place we are called. So, I leave you with this. The world may feel like it is unraveling, but that does not mean your work is unclear. Look around you. Who is near you? What is within your reach? What is yours to tend? Because possibility is not just something we hope for, it is something we cultivate right here, right now, together. May we be so blessed. And if you would now rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn number 1002, Comfort Me. The words will be projected on the screen.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh
The song did not want to let us go. As you go from this place, release the burden of doing everything and take up the work that is yours right where you are. Tend your corner. Care for your people. Build with others something steady and human in a fragile world. Go from here ready to meet this moment. Beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins, and I'm going to ask you to work in your service again, because I do think figuring out what grounds us, a spiritual practice, is important. So I'm inviting you to once again take that on during the week. Think, if you already have one, nurture it. If you don't have one, find a spiritual practice. Talk with others here. If you have no idea where to go, you may already be doing something that if you shift it a little bit, can become a spiritual practice. So explore that during the week. And now let's extinguish the chalice.
Please say these words with me as we extinguish this flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry into the world until we are together again.